Hi folks, I'm Eva from the Eva Christie Hand Knitting Podcast, and I'm coming to you again today from my studio in Perth, Scotland, to bring you another short vlog about Perth Festival of Yarn, which will return on the 10th of September 2017, and that will take place in the Dewars Centre in Perth this year. I wanted to start with one of my favourite yarn hand dyers in Scotland today, and I was absolutely thrilled that this dyer was part of our inaugural event and was really excited about joining us again for a second year. Now, the reason that I'm starting with her is that she very kindly put up a Mini-Skein set as a giveaway for my regular podcast, the Eva Christie Hand Knitting Podcast, and that is about to go out to one of my regular viewers of that podcast. So I thought if I start with this person, then it gives me the opportunity to share more of my personal stash and that Mini-Skein as well with all of you. Some of you have guessed who I'm going to be talking about today, and you're absolutely right if you guessed. It's Sunshine Stewart, who is the beautiful bubbly force of nature behind my Mama Knits. So Sunshine is based mainly out of her kitchen, if I understand correctly, from her kitchen in a place just outside Glasgow, where she is ably assisted by her young children, and she really has a love of colour and all things beautiful, and I am a huge personal fan of her work. Now, the one downside of organising an event like the Perth Festival of Yarn was that I had, if I was lucky, 5 minutes to actually run round the event and do my own personal shopping last year, and I'm hoping, although I doubt it very much, that I'll get a little bit more time this year. So I had to be prepared. I had a wish list of yarns I was desperate to get my hands off from various vendors at the last event in October, and I was grabbing the vendors as they were coming in saying, have you brought this? Or I'd messaged them prior to coming along and said, could you please bring this? This is on my wish list, this is what I desperately want, and I probably won't have time to shop. And then I ran round throwing my money away going, give me the yarn. And I spent a lot of money with Sunshine, and I regret nothing, because I absolutely love what she does with colour. So without further ado, I'm going to start by showing you, first of all, something that I've actually made from her yarn. So this is what I've got left over. And this is from her Scottish Myths and Legends series. This is called Kelpie, and it's got the most beautiful pops of red and these amazing seaweed greens and marine blues and murky gloomy greys and browns, but despite them being gloomy and murky, they're really quite warm colours as well. And when I saw this, I just fell in love. It was probably the one yarn of hers that I've been coveting for the longest. And I made myself a pair of socks out of it, and these have been worn. I used a contrast for my toes and cuffs. Dare I say it, I think these might be my favourite pair of socks I made in 2016. So you can get an idea of, if you're wanting to knit these into socks, how they look on a 64 stitch count on a 2.5mm needle. Regular viewers of my podcast will have seen these before, but I just utterly love this colourway. From what I remember, it's a 75% wool, 25% nylon. I don't think it's superwash in the base that I got, but what Sunshine does is she does her colourways on an absolute range of bases, so that suits everyone. I'll come on to these two now, and some of you will have already seen this one before. In fact, if you've watched my yarn haul video on my previous podcast, you'll have seen most of these anyway, but these are from a Glasgow series. Now, first up, this one is a Glasgow Underground, and it's superwash merino sock yarn, 75% merino wool and 25% nylon. It's 100 grams and it's 425 metres. And it incorporates the colours of the Glasgow subway system. And this is my own personal skein. I'm not sure if Sunshine's going to have many more of these or whether it's something she's planning on running with. But I did set out a custom die and asked for 3 of these skeins because I gave some away as part of my Glasgow subway knit-along prize. This one here is Wellington, named after the Duke of Wellington statue outside the Gallery of Modern Art in Queen Street, who has a traffic cone on his head most of the time. I just think the colourway is absolutely inspired for that. I think this is going to make some really, really fun socks when I get round to it. Again, this is superwash merino sock yarn. It's 75% merino wool and 25% nylon, and it's 100 grams, 425 metres. This as well, I almost missed this one when I was doing my shopping at last year's event, and it was one that I'd seen online again, I've been coveting, and I don't know how I missed it. I think I was just overwhelmed by the sheer volume of colour on Sunshine's stall. This is Painting of Koi. And the colours are coming up pretty true on the screen, although this is maybe not quite so bright green, but it's fairly vibrant. Move the label a wee bit more so you can see this. Just exquisite colour working. It's popping out a bit too much there. So again, this is superwash merino sock yarn. It's 75% merino wool and 25% nylon, 100 grams and 425 metres. I feel this one needs to be up near my face somewhere, although I reckon it would make the most amazing patterned socks. I just feel it needs to be something simple up near here. Now, this is one I did not buy. This was given to me by my lovely friend Charlotte of the Sharon Knits podcast. She, not so much recently, but she's gone on a journey and she's become a vegan knitter and had invested heavily in her stash and didn't want to just throw it away or it to languish. So I exchanged her some beautiful linen cotton mixes and other natural sort of fibres that I knew I just wasn't going to use from my stash. And she gave me a surprise collection of yarns in exchange, which was lovely, and part of that was my Mama Knits. This is Squid on the Beach, and the colours really are kind of reminiscent of those that sort of inky, squiddy sort of colours. It's just gorgeous. Again, it's a 4-ply sock yarn, 75% wool and 25% polyamide, 100 grams, 344 metres. So it's not superwash, it is more rustic, but it's beautiful, and I just love the colours in this. I believe it will come on other sort of bases, like I've said before, but this is just amazing. Let's see if we can pick up all those sort of like purples and deep mahoganies that are in here as well. And then these sort of custardy sort of tones. Marmalade sort of shades, goldens. Just beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. And then one more of the full skeins. So this is Queen of Hearts from Sunshine's Alice in Wonderland series. And it's not quite what it first appears when you see it skeined up like this, because it does have some bright honey yellow splashes along here. Again, it's a 4-ply sock yarn. It's 75% wool and 25% polyamide. 100 grams of 344 metres. And I just love the vibrancy of this bright, in-your-face pillar box red. And the black, this honey yellow. And we go on to the Mini-Skein sets that I've got here. So one is from my personal stash, and the one I'm going to show you first is part of the giveaway prize. So I can't take the giveaway prize out of the plastic, and I hope it will show up quite well. It's not showing up brilliantly because there will be a bit of glare. But this is Scottish Myths and Legends Mini-Skein set, and it's got Kelpie in it. Kelpie's in the centre, I think. No, it's not. It's this one here. But we've also got Loch Ness Monster, we've got Birken Hare, we've got Will-o'-the-Wisp, and we've got Sonny Bean. Although I'm probably not pronouncing that one right. So lovely sort of complementary sort of colour palette, although they've got the different shades in there. Now, how best to show you the other Mini-Skein set, because what it is quite substantial. I, again, had seen this many a time, was salivating at the mouth. It was just a Mini-Skein set I had to have, and I will turn it into its own blanket at some point because I feel that that's what this set needs to be. So I have 20 10-gram Mini-Skeins. I'll see if I can manage to bring them all together initially to show you. This is the Alice in Wonderland set, and I'm sure that even just holding them like this, there are a few of the colours that immediately you're going, I know who that is, or I know what that is. I'm going to go through all these individually with you. And they're all totally mixed up. That doesn't matter. I just absolutely adore these. So I'll start off with this little group first. So we have, in no particular order, Painting the Roses Red. And I should say that yes, these are all 10 grams, they're approximately 42 metres, and they are 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. This one is Who Are You? We have Who Stole the Tarts? And Eat Me. The colours in this are just really quite subtle. Oh, love them, absolutely love them. And if you have Eat Me, well, of course you have to have Drink Me. This couldn't be anyone else but Alice. We have The Duchess's Baby. I don't know if it's quite showing up, but there are speckled colours in this one. I'm not sure if I've got this one correct. I think this is What Is His Sorrow. But it did look very much like a hookah smoking caterpillar to me. It's not quite as bright green. Greens are very difficult to get the light right on. This one here is The Hatter. And this one's got to be one of my absolute favourites. I'm late. Look, it's the White Rabbit. And then the other half of the collection here. So we have All Must Have Prizes. Treacle. Griffin. The Trial, which has got all these little bits of colour in it. Cheshire Cat, Mad Tea Party, Hare, Do You Play Croquet? This is the smaller version of Queen of Hearts. And last but not least, Change Lobsters Again, which I have to get in the full skein. Look at this, just tiny. It's turquoisey blue, just, oh, exquisite. So I hope you enjoyed me showing you my mostly personal stash of yarn from my Mum and Knits, and it gives you a little taste of what to expect from our awesome vendors who are attending Perth Festival of Yarn 2017. Until next time, goodbye.